Hello guys, WATTYS-AUTOS here again. So today I'm going to be cleaning up the brake calipers on the Fazer 600. This covers models from, I believe, 98 to 2002, but I think after 2002 for a bit it was the same setup anyway. So general, I'll just show you what's involved. If you've got a sticky brake caliper or winter maintenance, you won't be doing this through winter if you're riding your bikes through winter. You want to schedule it in quite often, so build up with salt and stuff around seals, road grime and all that stuff, and calipers stick, and then there you go. Like this bike symptoms, when you roll it back, you can hear the caliper try to bind on a bit, and you can hear the brake pads on the disc kind of squeal a bit when you roll it back. I can't show you now being one-handed on phone, but it's there. So my job is I'm just going to clean it up, and I'll show you what's involved. As usual with my videos, it'll be kind of a pause and then on to the next stage, if you know what I mean. I can't do it all with one hand, so I'll just do it this way and pause the video, and then it'll go on to the next step. So let's get started. Okay then, first step, so unloosening bolts. So you want a 12mm on these two caliper bolts. Loosen them all off. You want an 8mm on the brake hose clamp here. That's just one 8mm that comes off. And just be careful where your speedo drive cable is running. Mine was clamped to the, I don't know if you can see that, it was clamped to the brake hose. You need a little fine screwdriver. I'm using this one. Just open it up with your hands and then just gently pry it open with that, and there's your clip. That's what it looks like. So it's just a simple latch. Yeah, be careful with that, because you don't want to pull your caliper off and then that's tight and then you're stretching that and everything. So just unclip it where it can, and we'll go on to the next step. So bolts out, unclip speedo drive cable. Okay. All right, next step, guys. You want to take off your reservoir top. These screws here, make sure that you're using the correct screwdriver for them, because they round off like butter. It's a good idea to put a tiny bit of copper thread on as well when you're putting them back. Copper slip when you're putting them back, just to make them easier to get out. You don't have to tighten the hell out of these either. A lot of people tighten them down and you've no chance. They just round off and it's a drill out job and that's it. So take your top off, get prepared. So you want loads of rags about. You're dealing with brake fluid here, so you don't want any brake fluid on your tank or anything like that. So just prepare for it. Wrap round with a cloth, and you want to take, or if you've not already, you want round about half fluid in here, because when we push the pistons back, the fluid's got to come back, if you know what I mean. So if you've got nearly a full reservoir and you're pushing pistons back, you're just going to push it over and it's going to go everywhere. So you want about half. On a note to this, once you take your top off of here, do not touch your handlebars. Alright, it's easy done. You think, oh, I'll just move them and get out of the way, and you turn it, brake fluid will go everywhere. Big cleanup job. Also, you don't want to be rocking the bike or yanking stuff off the bike, because same effect. So yeah, that's where you want to be. I'll go on to the next step now. Okay, so next step, bolts are out. I've took the caliper off. It's going to be pads out job. As you can see here, I've put the screwdriver through the little R-clip. Just a quick tip for you. If you put your screwdriver all the way through your R-clip and then pull it off, it ain't going to twang off somewhere. It's just going to be right into the screwdriver. So it's two R-clips off. There's a metal slider pin there, just near my thumb, you can see it. That one's pushing through, and then that'll drop your pads out. Alright, so I'll get to that step now. Okay, and then you're left with that. So you can see the pistons there. Mine are quite clean, but as I say, it is binding a bit, so I'm just going to clean them up. Next stage will be to gently pump the brake lever, keeping it on your brake fluid. You don't want that to run low, so just bear that in mind. So I'm going to pump the brake lever and just watch how these pistons react. If one of them stays in and three of them move, then I know that one wants freeing up. And what I'll do there is I'll block two off with a piece of wood. I'll try and odd one back with my finger and then squeeze brake lever and see if I can get the one moving that isn't moving. Basically, I'm going to pump them out. Be careful you don't want to pump them out so they pop out, but you have got quite a lot of room. If you can imagine that your piston comes back here somewhere where my thumb is. So I don't even think you'd better get these out like that, if you know what I mean. But you don't want it to pop out, because then you've got a hell of a job to put it all back, bleed them and everything. This way we're not going to have bleed out. So I'm just going to pump the brake lever, pump each piston out a bit, and then I'm going to clean them up with an old toothbrush. Brake cleaner, obviously. Clean them up and then see how they move. See if I can get them all moving freely. That's the next step. Okay, I've just come back again. So what's happened is when I've pressed my brake lever, as you can see, the bottom left one has moved out easy. So I know that one is going to be no problem. So I'm going to clean that one up first, and I'm going to pull it back in with my fingers. You should be able to get it back in with your fingers, because brake cap's off. And then I'm going to block it off and try and get the other two moving at top. Okay, I'll do that now. I'll show you. Alright guys, as you can see, I've cleaned the top two up, pushed them back in. So I've only the bottom right to do now. So I've just been using brake cleaner and a toothbrush to get in all the little gaps all the way around. And I've been using red rubber grease for years on my brake pistons. Now many people say, oh no, you shouldn't use red rubber grease on them. It's perfectly safe for brakes. If you just want to use brake fluid just to put on the pistons while you push them back in, that's fine. But it goes all over your hands. It can go all over the bike easily, you know what I mean? So I just use red rubber grease, and I'll show you now what that looks like. Just give me 2 minutes. Okay, as you can see, there we go. I've got red rubber grease all the way around with my finger. It looks like copper slip-on foam, but it is slightly red. Just search red rubber grease, do a bit of research in it, but I use it on my brake pistons. It's been fine. When I push this back in, it's just going to help piston go in easier. Your seal's going to be working anyway, so your seal's going to kind of plunger it off if you'd like. It don't matter if it mixes with brake fluid. It's safe for brakes. Obviously, don't go plastering it on and whacking it in any, you know, bleed nipple pot or put it in your brake reservoir. Not that you would, but you just can use it for this purpose. It's fine. So I'm going to push this back in now with my hand, and that's us done. I'm going to push all calipers pistons back, put my brake pads back on, and then I'll show you what to do next. 2 minutes. Okay, so pads are back in now. Pistons are still fully back, so it gives you loads of room to put it back on your disc. When you put your pads back, make sure that you have got your Arkley poles, you know, at top. Otherwise, you're gonna have to spin your slider pin round. Put a bit of red rubber grease on the slider pin so it comes out easy next time. What you want, check often as well, so it's caught me out. You can actually press this and you'll see it moving. The R-clips ever so slightly. I don't know if you can see that. That means it's free and floating. If your caliper's solid like mine was, I had to get another caliper. I could not get that out. I love the money. Braid it with big hammers. I've tried clamping it out, vicing it out. I've tried cutting it so I could get the pads off. Tried twisting it out. It won't come out. It's solid. So keep an eye on that. Corrosion can make that, I imagine, fuse, man. You know what I mean? I couldn't get it out, so I had to get a new caliper. So doing this, you know, keep an eye on slider pins, grease everything up, and then put your caliper back on bike. I'll go to that step now. That's caliper all put back together now. Just be aware, your brake reservoir cap is still off, so do not go, you know, over exerting stuff. It's all back. I've rerouted speeder cable nice and neat. That's that done, that end. So what we're going to do now is basically pump as brake lever, and this will bring the pistons out to the disc. Do it nice and slowly because it can pop out of here. All we want is this nice stiff lever now. Just keep going. Keep an eye on the level. I'm still pumping. There we go, it's getting stiff now, so I know that at least one piston's hit the disc. Sorry, one pad's hit the disc. A couple more. See that little bubble there? If you release it too quick, it'll split out. And that's it, that's me. So I'm half, more or less, yeah, I'm just over half fluid, so I might put a tiny bit more in. I'm going to put cap back on. And remember, use your copper slip on your screws there. Job done. That's it. Before you go out on bike, obviously, walk it forward. Try your brakes. Should be sharp. Job's done. Hope I've helped you out, guys. Catch you in the next one.